My name is Vitor Belfort, and you guys are about to see my workout with Jake Bonassi here in Xtreme Couture. Welcome, come.
My name is Jake Bonassi. I'm here at Vitor Belfort. We're working on, we've got a strength conditioning session starting up here. We're doing some soft tissue work to start with. He's using the foam roller. We're rolling out various muscle groups of his lower body to start, his glutes, his hips, his IT bends, because we're basically firing up what we're going to be using shortly with a lot of the lower body movements. And again, we're working on range of motion. We're improving flexibility, balance, stability. We're kind of killing a few birds at one stone here. Good, world's greatest, 5 and 5. This is the best stretch I've learned. I learned this from a trainer I've been working under. It's called the world's greatest. He's going to stretch out, straight back legs, square hips. He's going to touch that forearm on the ground. So he's getting a good stretch on his back glute, he's getting a stretch on his back hip flexor, and he's opening up his back, and then he stretches up his anterior tibialis there. So it's hitting a lot of things at one time. Real good dynamic stretch.
We don't work out, we train. That's the mentality of Jake. We have a destination. February 5th, we want to arrive there in the best condition.
You know, athletic performance training, it's more functional based. You don't see a lot of machines in here. We're using his whole body, a lot of different things we're doing. When you sit down, you sit in a fixed movement on a machine, it's very isolated and it doesn't really develop athletic performance. Not what we're after. We're warming up his glute, we're warming up the back hip flexor, opening up his back. It's a good one. It's kind of uncomfortable position, but it does the job.
Training with Jake, he's really studying. He's really go back home and studying how I'm feeling, how's my heart, making sure I'm eating right, making sure my training with the fighting. And he's getting me ready for doing my job better, stronger, and faster.
Lateral steps, 10 and 10. Straight leg, stepping out. Don't let those knees bend at all. We're doing some hip activation exercises here with the mini bends, firing up his adductors. Hips are playing an important role in what we're doing today, so it's appropriate that we warm them up correctly. And at the same time, doing a lot of good hip strengthening here. He's gonna be doing a mini bend side walk with bent legs. Well, obviously he's squatting down, so we're kind of firing up his glutes a little bit more, his quads, his hamstrings, rather than standing upright. And obviously still a lot of pressure on that hip when he steps out and when he retracts the other foot in. The hard part is not letting that knee slide in fast. He's fighting that the whole time. Good. Woo. Take him off.
Woo. This is not easy, man.
The system of training that I've been using with Vitor is, 3 months ago and up until about a month ago, we really worked on taking care of injuries. So when he gets into training camp, it's healthy. Aside from that, we worked a lot of isometric work, a lot of iso holds, a lot of eccentric drop sets, and that style of training, we're using only his body weight for a long time. Basically looking at it like we laid a very strong foundation, and then we're going to transfer into more of the power and the speed and the strength and agility work. Good.
The more you train, the more you get closer, like you feel the transition. I feel my body, I feel old, but in the same time, you feel young, you feel rejuvenated, you feel the way you train right, eat right, you start feeling your body changing. It's so unusual. You look to the mirror sometimes, wow.
Right now I'm having Vitor do a warm-up set of deadlifts. Good. We're working power triples today. We're gonna see test his bar speed. We're just picking these up right now in the training camp. We haven't really been doing them. And now's the time I'm gonna start incorporating them. And you know, any Olympic lift, I'm gonna keep the rep range really low on them. Today we're doing triples, and number one thing, I wanna see technique, I wanna see bar speed, and we're gonna build off it today. You can't be in tip-top shape year-round, that's not really reasonable, so we're climbing the mountain. You know, he'll peak on Super Bowl weekend. Knuckles to knuckle. What Vitor is doing now is a kettlebell squat. He's doing 8 clean reps here the first set. I like the kettlebells a lot because they challenge that upper body as well, just like in fighting. When these guys get tired, hands fall down, upper body posture tends to decrease. I got a band around his knee, so he's driving out constantly.
Our body can be pushed into the limits with the technology that we have today. Increase more strength, the vitamins, you know, the enzymes, the stuff. We can be helpful, and not just that, but the technique of training, it's always increased. So we always pushing the limit.
All that warm-up, the whole warm-up I did with Vitor was firing up everything we're using right now. Obviously, this is very strenuous on his glutes, his hamstrings, his quads, his core. That was the purpose of all that muscle activation stuff, the soft tissue work we did. I wouldn't want him to come in here and just do this stuff cold. I mean, the chances of him getting injured goes from here to up here, you know?
I believe everything, all the power, you know, the agility, the strength, you know, the best you're gonna see in the week of the fight. But before that, you're gonna go to the process. Some days you feel slow because you're doing strength, and some days you feel tired because you're doing a lot of conditioning.
Chest up, shoulders back, and we're on right there. See, during this exercise here, he's firing his hamstrings, his quads, his core's got to be tight, his chest has to be upright, shoulders back. There's a lot going on in this, and obviously it's keeping his overall balance. 5 more seconds. All right, now 6 clean reps. Stick that bottom. Yep, 5 more. Stabilization is important. I mean, if somebody's coming in to shoot a single leg on him and he's standing around, bobbing around on one leg, that's when balance comes into play, you know?
He always challenging my body, so my body's always responding in a way that I increase strength, you know, whatever we're looking for. You know, it's not like the kind of training like, I don't want to go train, like, I'm pumped.
This technique here is called a split squat. And again, we started with an isometric hold, and now he's gonna finish it off with reps. Good, bring it back, other leg. He's getting his isometric hold right here, balance, stability again, he's firing everything. His weight is equally proportional on his back leg to his front leg.
This get me ready for my home job, carrying the kids. One kid here, one kid here. The best cross training.
I've worked with a lot of top guys and guys from other sports as well, and he's one of the guys as a fighter that I could see if he wasn't a fighter, he could be an athlete, he could be a professional on something else. That's how much of a well-rounded athlete he is. We're gonna finish this workout with a tad bit of conditioning. Now we're gonna open up his lungs a little bit. We're gonna do some stuff with the ropes here, different patterns. Time, singles for speed.
What I think is gonna make me a champion, it's a sacrifice.
And time.
I don't believe
go.
you can get anything without sacrificing yourself. Winning is nothing we can promise, but winning the training is something I can promise. I can promise people that I will be in my best shape. I'm sacrificing myself daily to fight the current champion, Anderson Silva. So I'm fighting a guy who's been undefeated for 7 years, very confident, but deep in his mind, he knows that I have the ability. He knows I have all the tools to face him toe to toe. and I think the best man will win. I believe deep in my soul that I will be in my best conditioning ever for this fight.
That concludes our workout. The ropes is the last thing we're doing. I kept the workout at an hour and a half. I don't want any more time than that. It was a good quality strength session. We opened his lungs a little bit with the ropes for conditioning, and he's done to go home and relax until 5 o'clock training tonight.